Welcome back. Now we'll be taking a look at the future of gas prices in Forum Daily's weekly energy update with Dan McTeague, Senior Petroleum Analyst at GasWizard.ca. All yours, Dan.
Well, thank you very much for that, Nima. Another weekend, and this happens to be a long weekend for most of the country. So the midpoint really in the summer demand driving season. And I think for many, the fact that we've come down average prices in Canada of about $2.10 a litre all the way down to $1.75, $1.76 earlier this week, only to see those prices then move back up to an average of $1.80 may still be causing people to at least breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. And that's only because those big highs that we saw, Vancouver, 232, 233, now down to 193. Western Canada, although should have dropped even more, still in the 165 range. Ontario, 215, all the way down to where we are today, which is in the average of about $1.80 a litre. Quebec, a very similar situation, now pushing down towards the $1.95 range. And the Maritimes, even with their antiquated regulated system, still benefiting to a large extent in the 180s, 190s range. This is, probably as good as it's going to get. What we're going to see is an average increase. As we saw this last week, many people thought we're very skeptical and heard from some other so-called experts. It's kind of a professional knock that would be it. No more high prices. And within 20 minutes of those statements, it went up 7 cents a litre last Sunday, another 7 cents a litre on Wednesday. It's going to go up another 5 cents a litre this Sunday or more across much of Canada. And that's because I think the world is shedding itself of the reality that recessions, lockdowns for COVID are a factor, as are rising interest rates. But what is undeniable is the fact that the world remains dangerously close, tight supplies, especially when you consider the foolishness of the Biden administration to use up its energy reserves in order to try to, at some point, take down gasoline prices. Now, while gasoline prices have dropped maybe about 30 cents, a gallon, we also see a circumstance where it's the same Biden administration that refuses to acknowledge that its green policies led to $5 a gallon gasoline, the same way that Canadian policies, which are far more severe, have led not just with taxation, but with a weak Canadian dollar, to the circumstance we find ourselves in right now, in which gasoline prices are about 50 cents a litre higher than they were this time last year in most cities across Canada. So the outlook and the takeaway, therefore, is look for higher prices. I think August will see gradually prices moving up. That will, of course, not just mean gasoline. Watch for diesel. Because of Putin's moves in maneuvers and Europe's unwillingness to frack its own natural gas, they now find themselves in a situation where any movement to curtail natural gas supplies from Russia magnifies dramatically. The alternative and substitute for natural gas, which Europe desperately needs, is about to ration, is diesel. And so diesel prices will likely go up. We know that natural gas prices are going to go up. Nima, as we go through the season and we shift from August to September, we're going to have to start to pay attention to natural gas and propane prices because of the scarcity of supply, because of ESG mandates, because governments are going around saying to big companies that are making billions of dollars, oil companies, no more producing that stuff. We want you to stop producing fossil fuels. They're doing exactly what they're told to do. They're not producing. They're making a lot of money with what they have, and they're making scarcity where there was once abundance. It's therefore eroding affordability, not just around the world, but particularly here in Canada, where we have the third largest provable reserves of oil and probably enough natural gas to keep the world going for a couple hundred years if we were the only nation that could get that product out to market. So all this is really meaning for Canadians, this is about as good as it's going to get. Following this week, look for prices to go much higher, and you can lay a lot of that blame at the feet of the federal government that likes to say it's an international issue because we have such an abundance of energy. Don't take my words for it. Even the governor of the Bank of Canada is saying he's going to have to raise interest rates because the Canadian dollar is not responding. No one's interested in Canadian assets, and as a result, our purchase power has gone out the window. Unfortunately, that's a telltale sign for the rest of Canada, and we'll have more to talk about this time next week. But brace up and fill up before Sunday. That way, you'll save a few cents. Thanks again, Nima.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. Again, that was Dan McTeague, Senior Petroleum Analyst at GasWizard.ca. He's also the president of Canadians for Affordable Energy.